It's time again for Oklahoma Sports Scene. Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lingham. Great lineup for you this week, featuring Clay Martin, NFL referee, one of only 17 referees in the National Football League, and our own local Clay Martin is one of them. That's a little insight into what it means to be an official in the National Football League. Also have Max Abmas, the outstanding guard, the All-American for Oral Roberts University, talking about his incredible senior season and the great basketball team out at Oral Roberts University. And a father-son duo, Ted and Teddy Owens. Ted, of course, the former Hall of Fame basketball coach at the University of Kansas. His son, Teddy, a successful head coach at Holland Hall High School here in Tulsa. And Rob Murray, the Owens hockey coach, stops by for a visit as well. Now let's check this week's Tulsa World Hot Topics. Start with NBA All-Star Weekend just completed. Sunday's 72nd National Basketball Association All-Star Game. Team Giannis defeated Team LeBron 184-175. That's how they play All-Star games in the NBA. Boston Celtics' Jason Tatum was the All-Star MVP. 55 points. That's an all-time NBA All-Star game record. By the way, our own Oklahoma City Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, played just over 10 minutes in the game, was 4 for 5 shooting, including 1 3-pointer as well. Oklahoma City Thunder come out of the All-Star break now, getting ready to play this week. They have a 28-29 record. They're in 10th place in the 15-team Western Conference, holding one of the play-in spots at this time, led again by their All-Star guard, SGA. He's averaging, by the way, 30.9 points a game, 5.7 assists, 4.7 rebounds on the season, shooting 50.8% from the floor and 91.3% from the free throw line. Looks like an NBA All-Star as well, as certainly All-Pro certainly as well. Well, what sports do you know begins the season with its biggest and most important event? NASCAR racing. That's right, the Daytona 500, the great American race, got the season underway this past week. 2023 marked the 75th season also of NASCAR. The Cup Series Championship runs to number 5th, also described as a season of celebration and of transition. A number of the veteran drivers retiring, some of the new young blood are coming on strong. And the 65th Daytona 500 run this past Sunday, one of the longest ever. They had 2 overtimes to decide it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got the luck of a caution flag falling just in time to get him just be in front of Joey Logano to win the 500. Finishing third, though, in the 500, a Norman, Oklahoma native, Christopher Bell, by the way, a 3-time Chili Bowl winner here in Tulsa. He won the race in 2007, 17, 18, and 19. Christopher Bell, one of the young rising stars in NASCAR, third in the Daytona 500. Football season, well, fans didn't have to wait long to see more football. Just 1 week since the Super Bowl ended and the XFL returned. They played a 10-week regular season schedule, leading to a championship game on April the 30th. One of those teams, the Arlington Renegades, is coached by former OU Hall of Fame coach Bob Stoops. They won their first game, beating the Vegas Vipers 22-20. They played in the old Texas Rangers Stadium there in Arlington. And OSU dominating Bedlam Wrestling. Oklahoma State continues to dominate Bedlam. They were 26-6 against OU in their match. 10 matches on senior night in Stillwater. They won 8 of those 10. OSU continues to the Bedlam win streak, 17 in a row now over the Sooners. And Tulsa will be the center of the collegiate wrestling world coming up. The Big 12 championships are coming to the BOK Center March 4th and 5th. Then downtown BOK Center will host the NCAA National Championships. They're coming March 16th to 18th. There's some guests coming up to talk more about the wrestling. And the Tulsa Oilers hockey team has a home ice tripleheader coming up this weekend. After sweeping a 2-game series at Wichita last week, Oilers won a Valentine's night game here 5-4, led by Max Golad's hat trick. And then the night Wichita this past Saturday, Tulsa won that game 5-2. Tag Bertuzzi, one of the newcomers on the Oilers roster, getting his 10th goal in his 11th games as an Oiler. Tulsa now hosts Rapid City. They have 3 games coming up this weekend at the BOK Center, the 24th and 25th, 7 p.m. at those 2 games, and 4:05, an afternoon game on Sunday afternoon. Head coach Rob Murray will be here to talk Oilers hockey and talk about their chance for the playoffs. All that's coming up, but next you want to stay tuned for this one. NFL referee Clay Martin joins us to talk about what it's like to referee games in the National Football League. Glad you're with us on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today. 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Remington Park Racing returns with the 2023 Spring Quarter Horse season, running from March 9 to June 3rd. $1 Million races, multiple Saturday programs featuring the best horses in big money action, and racing champions all competing throughout the season. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. First race at 6 p.m. nightly, Sunday afternoon racing 4 p.m. The top quarter horse paint and Appaloosa racing season continues through June 3rd at Remington Park.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank. We never forget it's your money.
Oh, welcome to our Oklahoma sports scene set now. A gentleman you've seen on Sundays on the NFL. He is the National Football League referee. Our own Clay Martin here. Clay, congratulations. You're doing a great job in the NFL. Always fun to watch you on the weekends work.
Well, thank you. I don't always hear that from people, Chris. You know, it's good, and very, very thankful to be a part of such a prestigious organization.
And a pretty exclusive club. What are they, 17 referees in the National Football League?
That's correct. There's 17 crews, which means 17 referees, and so very, very lucky.
And you've just finished your 5th season, right?
Fifth season in that role, and my 8th as an NFL official.
Right, started when umpire was your first one?
That's right.
Okay.
So when I came in 15, I came in as an umpire and got to be mentored by Ed Hockley and Carl Cheffers, who just worked this year's Super Bowl. But yeah, came in as an umpire so I could have that backfield look.
And you've been involved in playoff postseason games, including a wild card this year, right?
Very fortunate, yeah. It's such a talented group of officials at that level. So anytime you get that email or phone call that you've been selected to work the postseason, it's a real honor. And was fortunate enough again this year, and that's just a tribute to the crew that I was with all year. They made me look good.
You call it, was the game that was in Baltimore?
Had a wild card game in Cincinnati. That's correct, with Baltimore.
Baltimore, okay, right?
Yep.
Well, again, the officiating is going to be incredible. The amount of travel, but the amount of preparation. Give people an idea of what it's like to be an NFL official. What is your week like getting ready for that Sunday game?
How long is our segment here?
I know, exactly.
We're going to have to make it brief, but you know, it really starts for me after I work a game. You know, I put a thumb drive in on the airplane into my laptop, and I start reviewing the game and doing my own evaluation, as does everybody on our crew.
Right,
and spend a lot of Monday and Tuesday doing that, and start the evaluation process with New York on Tuesday, working with them on our game. And there's certain game reports I've got to do. And so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are all about wrapping up the game we just worked, and managing emotions of crewmates and maybe myself if they don't like the evaluation that was given to us. And then Thursday and Friday I shift to our upcoming game and for helping to prepare the crew for the 2 teams that we have. And you know, a lot of studying with, you know, in between, but I'm probably doing football just about every day of the week for that time. So
what has it been like, and what has been some of your favorite moments as being that guy in the stripes who's not just referee, you're in charge of the entire game? That's amazing.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that. I'll tell Shannon, like, I'll get caught up and the fog's coming, or coming out of my mouth, and I'm breathing, fog's on the field, and you're breathing the air, and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to work here. But I think first game was always fun, right?
Yeah,
My first
right.
game as an NFL official was a Monday Night Football game in San Francisco, and they were doing their Ring of Honor. So it was a who's who of 49ers that were there that night, and I'm taking the field and just seeing, the greats, the Rices, the Haleys, the Montanas, of course,
Oh, wow,
and those guys. And first game as a referee, of course, you remember that. And it's really neat. I was fortunate enough to work a game, in Buffalo this year after the unfortunate incident,
Right,
and just
yeah.
being a part of that emotion and seeing that community come together. Not even that community, but the entire league come together and rally behind DeMar and the Bills, and so it's things like that. It's not calls. It's more like you said, just the experiences and places you get to go.
A lot of times we wish you could leave your microphone on. What was interesting, your interaction with players, though, how much does that go on with players and coaches during the game?
Oh, all game.
Yeah, right.
And I enjoy that, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
how we build the camaraderie and the relationship and the trust, hopefully, that you're developing as a referee on the field. And they know that they can come to me and vent, but we just try and have conversation, right? And I'll do the same with them if I need some help with one of their, talking with the quarterback. If I need some help with one of their guys, I can go to them. But conversation is a good way to put it, but it goes on for about 60 minutes.
Any favorite players or coaches you've had a chance to deal with in the league? Or
They're all just so professional.
Yeah.
They're all, I think, respect the job that we have. They may not always agree, but I do think there's a definite level of respect. And so I've had a very positive experience with all of them.
Toughest calls you've had to make?
I think when you're a referee, it's normally, obviously, we call a lot of holding and roughing the passer, and roughing the passer has gotten some attention over the last few years, and what's the line, but that's the guy we are assigned to protect, right? I mean, can you tell me who the backup at Cleveland is?
No, I didn't want to know.
That's why I got to protect the first string guy,
That's
right?
exactly right, yeah.
So those guys obviously are who people come and pay to watch, and it is a tough call, but it's what we're paid to do.
I can imagine having all these rules, and again, communication is going to be so important for you guys and your entire crew, right? Back and forth with
Absolutely.
penalties and such.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've got the devices where we can communicate and so forth, and we try to use those appropriately during certain dead ball situations. But that's the challenge, is just how do we come together and communicate and work together? Everybody can work at that level.
Yeah.
Now, how do we come together and be the third team on the field, essentially?
Clay Martin, NFL referee, one of only 17. He lives here in the Tulsa area here. And Clay, also, you're a broadcaster, too. You got to remember to get that mic on, right, to get the calls up. How's that been?
It's been good. The longer you do it, you know what TV is looking for and where you place your mic and how they want it pointed. And, that's the fun part that people probably don't realize is, I get a map of where all the cameras are each
Right.
game,
Oh,
and
wow.
where I'm standing on the field and where they would prefer me to face when I'm standing, at the 20-yard line. Well, let's look at the 25-yard camera, not the 50-yard camera, and things like that. So it's the other part of it.
I get a kick out of the guys that they throw the red challenge flag out there, or they hear down from the booth, want to look at it. So you guys run over to the sideline and look at a stupid 5-inch monitor. We got a 500-foot screen above you there. It's
How about
amazing.
that?
I know.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Almost
you're seeing
amazing.
what I'm seeing,
Yeah,
so
I know
who
it.
knows?
Golly. And just communicating with who in New York? New York, or where's the?
Yeah, so working with my replay official in the stadium.
Right.
There's 2 replay officials that are a part of our crew. We're together every week, and then obviously having access to talk with New York as well. So all of us piecing it together and trying to get it right.
Coming another segment with Clay Martin here to find out how he got to the National Football League, his path to that. You want to be a referee? He'll give you some tips on that too. Right back on Oklahoma Sports Scene here at Billy Sims BBQ in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Stay with us.
You did it, Tulsa. You name the team. We name the team. You name the team. The Tulsa Oilers indoor football team kicks off in March, Saturday nights, 7 p.m., BOK Center. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com to get your season tickets now. Don't miss your chance to experience the fast pace, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. TulsaOilersFootball.com. TulsaOilersFootball.com.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine in, curbside, or carry out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
Remington Park Racing returns with the 2023 Spring Quarter Horse season, running from March 9 to June 3rd. $1 million races, multiple Saturday programs featuring the best horses in big money action, and racing champions all competing throughout the season. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. First race at 6 p.m. nightly, Sunday afternoon racing 4 p.m. The top quarter horse paint and Appaloosa racing season continues through June 3rd at Remington Park.
There are only 17 referees in the National Football League. We have one of them right here at Oklahoma Sports Scene. A good friend, Clay Martin here, a local guy who's made it big in the NFL. His 5th season, heading up a crew there. And I think people will be interested, Clay, your journey to that point of getting to the highest level, National Football League. Where did it all start for you as a referee?
You know, when I'm asked that question, some people are really surprised, or some people are like, well, you had to do all that? Like, I think a lot of people think you can just apply and start in the NFL. But no, you know, I started off in the Greater Tulsa Officials Association, doing little kids and high school, JV, you know, Monday night, Tuesday nights, junior high football, and working your way up to high school, getting a varsity game, which was a big deal, right? And then from there, it was getting just a wonderful opportunity in Conference USA by Gerald Austin. Took a chance on me just after 2 years of doing high school. So started working Division I football and did that for 8 years, and in the meantime also did some arena football. The NFL had their hand in AF2 at the time. They would use that as kind of an evaluation opportunity like they used to in Europe. I got in too late. I didn't get to go to the work Europe, which I've heard is just amazing. But, you know, through that and so it's just like anything, right? You know, you start here and work your way up. And
I know I'm always asked, young people come to me and say, I want to be a broadcaster. And, I said, well, I was actually started as the voice of the Hickman Cupies. Come and say, no, I want to be on Sports Center or doing an NFL game.
They want to move right to Bristol.
Yeah,
let's go.
Not quite the same thing, is it? There? But again, set the basics there, the foundation. And how do the NFL find Clay Martin? Are they always evaluating different people? Or
Yeah, that's a good question. I think once you get into Division I football, you're essentially in a database for the NFL. And the NFL works closely with all of the conference coordinators. Like I mentioned earlier, mine was Gerald Austin, and they're working with those coordinators saying, hey, who are some guys we need to be evaluating? And I did not know at the time, but the last 5 years that I did Division I, there was an NFL scout at every game.
Really? Yeah.
Just to watch, and this was when I was still on the line of scrimmage as a line judge, and then when I moved to referee. And so obviously they've got scouts all over the country that are, you know, looking at the pipeline, so to speak, and then you do some developmental assignments. I got to go to some training camps with some rostered NFL officials and be mentored and shadowed, and worked a preseason game or two as a developmental official, and then, you know, you're just hoping your phone rings in the spring one year.
Well, Clay, this has been going on for some time, the discussion of should we have full-time officials?
Yeah.
Almost all these guys are part-time. You hear about this guy's a superintendent, this guy, you're a basketball coach at Jenks High School. Is it still that situation? It's a part-time job at this point still?
Yeah, they call it part-time. I'm just not working part-time hours, Chris. And so, you know, I think, and I don't think I'm misspeaking, I think we're the only professional sports referees that are considered part-time. So don't know why it happened before me, but, you know, so there are, like you mentioned, a lot of guys still have what we can, you know, other jobs. I'm still employed at Jenks doing work, and you've got the gamut, you know, all walks of work. And so it is considered a part-time job.
And it is not a salaried job either, right?
Yeah, so there's negotiated agreements in our CBA that we get paid, you know, per game, or, you know, for training camps or preseason, whatever those type things are. So it's not like a teacher where I knew I was going to make X amount.
And benefits, health, anything like that? Or?
No, you know, I get all that through Jenks and whatnot, but I'm fortunate to have a retirement plan in place that the NFL helps us with, so very thankful for that.
Your thoughts on instant replay and coaches' challenges? You either not have it, or is it just part of the game now?
You know, I don't think it really matters what I think. What I do know is it's only going to get bigger, right? I mean, each year there's more and more involvement, and there's parts of it I think that I'm obviously really, really like and enjoy, and there's parts of it that can be frustrating. And so I think the goal is to get it right, and our job's to get it right on the field. I work with our crew. We've got to officiate like we don't have replay. We can't rely on that. We've got to own calls and be decisive and get it right on the field. And obviously you've got your guys in the booth that are there when the appropriate time happens. And you know, like I said, the goal is to get it right. Sometimes it takes longer than the people at home would appreciate, and I can respect that. But like I said, it's only getting bigger, so we've got to learn to work.
You head up a 7-man crew. So obviously a lot of communication you mentioned here, but everybody has their role and stuff. And
That's right.
I'm sure you must have pregame, your own little get-together, and coaches tips. You're the coach.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So we have 7 on field and 2 upstairs. So the 9 of us travel together every week. Even our replay officials are part of our crew. And so typically, we'll get in the day before the game, and we'll have a meeting where we are breaking down last week's game and looking at stuff, learning examples and stuff we did really well and things we've got to get better at. And we're doing rule study, we're doing timing study, and all sorts of things. It's a year-round deal.
How do you, not meaning you specifically with your crew, how do you handle mistakes? If you know I missed that call, or it wasn't what I thought it was, or I didn't get a good angle on it, how do you handle those during a game? That's
one of the toughest things we have to do, because even during the game, you may throw a flag and you're like, gosh, I don't know, or you hear the crowd groan, or you're trying to sneak a peek maybe at the board like, oh man, where did he hit him? But I think the toughest part we've got to do is get over it, because if we're not ready to work in the next 30 seconds, we can make another mistake, right? We've got to be ready. We've got to be ready to work the next play. And obviously I'll make notes during the game, during dead balls, look at this play or that play, and you really don't know if you missed it till you get on that plane and look at it, and you just got to own it.
I love the fact that I wondered how you handle some of the coaches. The coaches don't seem, you give them a lot of latitude, it seems like, on the sidelines.
Well, I mean, I think as referees, we all have our own personalities, and I think being a coach myself has helped me in that regard, just always working. I know what I wanted from basketball officials, and I think these guys are paid a lot of money to win football games, and I keep that in the back of my mind, and I want them to feel comfortable coming to me and talking and venting and working together through situations. But it comes down to I'm there to serve them in some capacity, and I need to take that mentality.
And sometimes they take the term referee literally. Weren't you involved in a little altercation of the Philadelphia Eagles, a bunch of players?
Well, I think there's some skirmishes, just about every game where they get up. And I told my wife I was just trying to find the kicker, one of the smallest guys out there where I could go act tough. But, the idea is to get in there early so it doesn't escalate, where they make us, they cause us to make a decision on a flag, or doesn't want to escalate to maybe a potential, I don't want to say fight, but some type of altercation. So we want to get in there early and try and prevent it.
And like football players, you officials, of course, you have your preseason, your training camps. It's almost year-round.
Without a doubt. I mean, I love the preseason when we get to go to training camps and sit in film rooms and hang out with quarterbacks and linemen, or the position you work with, and just have casual conversation and learn. And we all need preseason games. I'm glad I have the preseason to work and get loose again. And you're right. It's, from the Super Bowl till about now, or till about spring break, I try and shut it down a little bit and then fire it back up after spring break.
I went on the web and found there really is a website, Football Zebras.
How about that? Footballzebras.com. I mean, it's nothing to do with the NFL. But a lot of people go there because they will post, where everybody's working. You can see, where each crew chief, and I'm considered a crew chief, what game that I have every week. And they do other interesting articles on, officiating philosophies and calls and so forth.
You missed the basketball, 17 seasons. Did a great job coaching the Jenks Trojans basketball team. Several state tournament runs there. And you missed that this time of year?
Absolutely. Just for what you said, several state tournament runs. You didn't mention any state championships because I had the big goose egg. But, lost in the finals and been to several state tournaments. And without a doubt, I miss it. But, wanted to step down to have an opportunity to watch our son play at the collegiate level.
Yeah, Chase, how's he doing?
He's doing really well. Thank you for asking. He's out at Wofford College and just having a tremendous experience playing in the SoCon, and is doing well and has earned a lot of playing time, so couldn't be prouder.
And you get to spend a little time now and meet your wife again in the off season?
That's exactly right. She's asking me when my next assignment is, I think. I don't think she's enjoying me being home as much as I am.
Well, Clay, we're really proud of you. Always great to see you on national television, the National Football League, and they're doing a great job as one of the 17 referees, our own Clay Martin. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And here's our Billy Sims BBQ.
Oh,
Say your wife, come enjoy our Billy Sims BBQ with us.
Absolutely, and we got one right down the road from Jinx America.
That's it.
Or from the gym.
Exactly. Love that. We're going right back with the Oral Roberts University superstar, Max Abmas, coming next. Yes.
Man, that'll be fun to listen. He's in range when he walks in the door.
Right.
You did it, Tulsa. You name the team. We name the team. You name the team. The Tulsa Oilers indoor football team kicks off in March, Saturday nights, 7 p.m., BOK Center. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com to get your season tickets now. Don't miss your chance to experience the fast pace, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. TulsaOilersFootball.com. TulsaOilersFootball.com.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
What happens when Rumble of the Oklahoma City Thunder takes on the two fellas and a big vehicle team on the court? They should leave it to a professional. And when it comes to moving the Thunder and all of Rumble's stuff, he should leave it to the professionals.
We got this. Let the pros from two fellas take it from here.
He has been the driving force behind Oral Roberts University's incredible basketball season. They're undefeated through the Summer League Conference, heading into their final 2 road games in South Dakota this week. Max Abmas is the guy who's led the way. They're 2-time, soon to be a 3-time All-American senior guard. We recently had a Zoom interview with one of the best players in all of college basketball. We first asked Max from Dallas, Texas, why he picked Oral Roberts University.
You know, just the opportunity that Coach Mills and the whole staff, presented to me from day one when, I started talking with Coach Springman, just the relationship that we built. And so for me, I wanted to, come into a program and, have an impact on it and try to turn it around and put it back on the right track. And, that's what my plan has been since I've been at Oral Roberts.
Well, you certainly accomplished that, and need to go back and relive that junior season with you, that magical season of 2021 where ORU went on to the Sweet 16. Max, that was a magical year for you, for the school, and we had an impact on this university.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great opportunity. One of those things is, a lifelong dream of, every kid almost, who wants to play, high-level basketball. And so to be in that position, and also to glorify the school, bring attention to the school and everything that it's about was definitely a dream come true.
So you started against as the 15th seed in that NCAA tournament and upset second seed Ohio State, 75-72. You had 29 points in that game. What do you remember about the Buckeyes game?
Oh, man, I remember everything about it. I think I could run the whole thing back in my head, just being in that moment and just enjoying every part of it was very special.
Second round, took on Florida, upset them 81-78 with 26 points in that game. Then, of course, you had a great shot to get to the Elite Eight, just missing on a shot against Arkansas. Talk about the game with the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good game. We played Arkansas early in the year. So going into that game, we, had some experience playing them and we were confident in that game. And to get that shot at the end, you couldn't ask for, a better look in that amount of time. And so unfortunately it didn't go in, but, we moved on past that now.
Well, Max, you were the first player to score at least 25 points in each of the first 3 games in the NCAA tournament. And Stephon Curry, it's not a bad combination. I said they compared you a lot to him and also to Jimmer Fredette. Pretty good comparisons.
Right. No, definitely. I'm with you on that. To be kind of mentioned with those two names who, both had great college careers, is definitely a blessing and special for me.
Why was this season so special? Your senior season and the team off to a phenomenal start, long win streak here, summer league title here. It's just amazing, and on to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's just special, because it's the last dance, and talking with Coach Mills and trusting the pieces that he was bringing in, from a transfer portal, and Connor and Patrick, Damari, and just understanding the team that he had here and just feeling like we could win here. And so, I wanted to come back and, win here and get us back on that stage in March Madness. So,
Coach Mills had a lot of great things to say about you last week on our show and said you'll definitely be a three-time All-American. I said, any chance we can keep Max here one more year? I said, no, off to the NBA, and he wish you the best there. I'm sure it's one of your big goals.
Yes, sir. No, definitely one of the big goals, and something that I've been dreaming about my whole life. So.
And, of course, you can always fall back on, what is this degree you're working on at ORU?
Yeah, I was working in biochemistry.
And what is your future plans?
I mean, my future plans is to go pro and keep the basketball rolling as long as I can.
Well, Max, you've been a great job here at Oral Roberts University, great ambassador for the university. What would you tell young players out there might consider coming to ORU? Why would you want to choose to play for the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles?
I really just say just what the whole community is about. It's so much support coming in from, the whole student body, everybody at ORU, and, to just be in a great place like this that glorifies God, but kind of keeps your priorities straight is definitely a big thing too.
Max Abmas, three-time, going to be All-American at Oral Roberts University, going to set the all-time free throw percentage record. Probably going to finish third highest score in the history, being Caleb Green for that. And the schools have so many titles there, so many awards, and most of all, I'll look forward to a good run at the Summer League and back to the NCAA tournament. Max, thanks for joining us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Max is now 46 points away going to the two games this week in South Dakota from being the number 3 all-time scorer in Oral Roberts University basketball history. Number 1, Greg Sutton, 1988 to 1991. Greg with the unreachable 3,070 points. Then it was Richard Fuqua, 1969 to 73, great basketball player, 3,004 points. Caleb Green, who we had on the show earlier this year, 2,503 points at number 3. That's the next target for Max Abmas. Max should be able to pass him up this year before he finishes. Max goes into the games this week, 2,457 points. So he's, by the way, 33 threes away from being the number 1 all-time Oral Roberts basketball player in threes made. Max is currently number 2 all-time in free throw percentage at ORU. In the Summer League, Max is the Summer League's all-time three-point scorer, currently number 4 in their scoring list. So ORU now 25-4, starting the week, a perfect 16-0 in the Summer League. They go to South Dakota and South Dakota State. Then it'll come the Summer League tournament, also back in South Dakota, where Max will wind up his career there. We come back next, more basketball with the father-son team of the Owens. Straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Remington Park Racing returns with the 2023 Spring Quarter Horse season, running from March 9 to June 3rd. $1 million races, multiple Saturday programs featuring the best horses in big money action, and racing champions all competing throughout the season. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. First race at 6 p.m. nightly, Sunday afternoon racing 4 p.m. The top quarter horse paint and Appaloosa racing season continues through June 3rd at Remington Park.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine in, curbside, or carry out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
We're back in October Sportscene here. Good friends. Ted Owens, the Hall of Fame basketball coach at the University of Kansas. His son Teddy Owens from Holland Hall High School, a very successful basketball coach here. Continuing our father-son group here. And last week, of course, we had the Montanati from Wausau High School. Had basketball coach there, Brian Montanati, and his superstar son, Jalen Montanati, he's 6'7", and Ted, you saw enough of them, didn't you, playing in Wausau?
Jalen's gonna do whatever he wants to do. We saw enough of him. I mean, 30 points plus. He's special.
Well, welcome to the show, guys. Great to have you here. Ted, we go back a long ways together, of course, back to my old Mizzou days, and you bring those Jayhawks into the old Brewer Fieldhouse.
Yeah, when I would go out and sit on the bench and watch them warm up, and here's this reporter that would come out and with his tape recorder and do his taping before the game.
Well, I know, Ted, how proud you are of your son, Teddy, and what a job he's done at Holland Hall.
Yeah, he's done a terrific job. They've made it to the state 4 straight years that he's been there, and he's lost some heartbreakers, overtimes, one-pointers, and so forth. But they have a fight coming up this week.
Well, Teddy, obviously, this man had a heck of an influence on you and your career and your choice of being a coach, I guess.
Yeah, it's. I saw him coaching from the time I could walk, and seeing his relationships with his players and the passion he has for the game is the reason I have passion for the game. And so I've been extremely blessed that he's my dad.
Ted was a coach at KU 1964 through 83, 6 Big 8 titles, 9 Big 8 postseason tournament championships, and 2 NCAA Final Fours. One he'll never forget that he should have won, right? Texas Western, was it?
Yeah, Texas Western, 1966.
Bad call.
Well, I think it was. I was on the other side of the court. But I'm pretty sure it was a bad call.
Well, give us, Teddy, your early coaching background. You started out of state, then moved back here.
Yeah, I started, my first head coaching job was at Lincoln Christian. And then I had the opportunity to work for Coach Kruger at OU as a GA, and then in Nebraska as a director of operations. Then moved to Florida, and when we got the chance to come back home to Oklahoma, it was a no-brainer, and to work at a special place like Holland Hall and be near my mom and dad.
And the Dutch this year, 18-4, and heading for the playoffs.
Yeah, they start this Friday, and we're excited. We're excited about it. We get to host 2 games at our place, which is the first time we've ever been able to host games at Holland Hall. We've got bleachers on the one side, and hopefully we do something about that one of these days. But I'm excited that we get a host at our place this time for the first year.
You know, the big controversy about that, all of a sudden, middle of the season, the OSSAA decides, oh, you're no longer in 4A, we're going to put you in 5A. How'd that impact the squad?
It didn't impact us. I think our guys were excited about the challenge of it. I think the disappointment came in that we felt like we were going to be able to play Kingfisher or Crossings or a couple teams we've lost to by just a few points in the last few years. And so we kind of wanted that payback, but our guys were excited about the challenge of moving into 5A.
Coach, I know you just came back from Lawrence, Kansas, that incredible reunion. Not many places can pull off something like that at the University of Kansas. What a place.
The 125th reunion of Kansas basketball. All the way, you walk into the place and there's a place that Dr. Naismith, the inventor of the game, was our first coach. And the only losing coach in the history of Kansas basketball.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, and the rules are there, right? The
rules, you couldn't dribble.
Yeah.
After each score, you jump center. So if you had the best big guy who could who get the tip at center, then you control the ball. We had a player at Kansas named Skinny Johnson, and he was inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame. And I asked someone, what were his skills? He said he'd get the tip every time.
We got a really good Hall of Fame coaches there that came back for the reunion, right?
Oh, yeah. Roy Williams, the 4 of us who are still alive. Yeah. Of course, Coach Self and Coach Brown and Roy and myself.
And of course, I couldn't help but notice the Jayhawk on the.
I wore that especially
I know,
for
it's a
you,
Missouri
Chris.
Tiger. Always does that too. Your thoughts on this Kansas basketball team? Looks like, as usual, Bill is getting ready at the right time.
Well, they're making a run. You know, a month ago they lost at home to TCU by 20-something. And you would think this team can't do it. Last year they lost to Kentucky by a sizable margin at home and then turned it around. His team's peak at a really good time. He has a great plan. And
a heck of a basketball coach, obviously.
Yeah, he is. Really good.
Let me take you all the way back to Hollis, Oklahoma. My gosh. And of course, played at OU. Who were some of the coaches that most affected you in your career?
Well, my high school coach was a great influence. His name is Joe Bailey Metcalf, and he probably influenced my life more than anybody except my own dad. He was a great coach. Coach Drake, Bruce Drake at Oklahoma, Hall of Fame coach, and my freshman coach, Shockey Needy, and then had the chance to play to work with Coach Dick Harp. Oh, wow. He was the great coach at Kansas. He was assistant for years to Fall Allen, and he was a great help to me.
Teddy, what's the best advice this guy's ever given you, coaching-wise?
You know, he just texted me the other day, and he said in some of my lowest moments, you know, we haven't been playing as well as we were early in the year, and he just said some of my weakest moments, my lowest moments, is when I learned the most and grew the most, and so. You know, there's no quotes necessarily or anything like that. I think it's just he's been always an encourager. He's been the great encourager to me. I mean, just showing me how much he loves me and cares about me and our family. More than anything, that stands with me more than anything he said. It's just his positivity.
A couple things, the OSSAA, they turned down, it was a close vote, turned down a 30-second clock. That was quickly followed the next week by a game that was 4-2 final score. Then also things about, again, going up to different divisions and stuff and how it's working out in the playoffs for you. But what do you think of the 30-second clock?
Well, I love it. We play with it in Arkansas in a tournament this year, and the pace of play is just so much better. There's no great stoppage in the game. It just, I think to me, and a lot of people who make the case about, well, you're doing this, you need to do this for the kids who want a chance to play in college. I don't think that's it. I think just the game grows when everybody's playing by the same rules.
Coach, what's tougher? Coaching in the Final Four or sitting in the stands watching your son Teddy coach at Holland Hall?
It's easier when you're coaching yourself. You sit in the stands, you have no control of anything. And at least you have some control when you're coaching.
Look forward to a big event that Oral Roberts University puts on every year. They host a bracketology breakfast right after they draw for the tournament. It'll be coming up at Southern Hills Country Club, March the 13th, Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Coach, you all has been the main attraction for this event. It's always a great event, and they get Joe Lenardi, the bracketology expert, on by a Zoom call, and it's always a big time, good time.
Yeah, Lenardi, that's a highlight of it. Yeah. Everybody's anticipating. You know, he's the one that predicted that ORU would beat Ohio State in the playoff. So he's nailed it a lot of times.
What are your thoughts on the basketball scene this year? Just crazy. The Blue Bloods are North Carolina, Kentucky. These guys may miss the tournament.
Yeah, you know what? One of the really good things that happened a few years ago is that they reduced the amount of scholarships from 15 to 13. A lot of these big-time programs, you know, they'd load up with 15, and so now that it frees up more players to go to different places. And a lot of times those schools that hold on, that don't have the one and dones, they keep guys together, and all of a sudden they're seniors. They've been playing together, and so they make a run at it.
Teddy, heading to the playoffs, who are some of your top players for the Dutch?
Jaden Cool is the senior we have, and Jaden's averaging about 18. And I think the pulse of our team, though, is a kid named Nate Mullendor. Nate averages about 9 and 9, or 10 and 10. I probably should suit his numbers up and say 10 and 10. Yeah. But he does everything for us. I mean, he's the pulse, and then we've got a junior, Carter Benton, who can just shoot the lights out of it. So we've got a really good group.
Well, good luck through the playoffs for Holland Hall.
Great to
always
see
good
you as
my friend,
always.
as always. Appreciate that. By the way, next week, another father-son team. We're going to have the longtime Inola High School Longhorns basketball coach, Clyde Barkley, and his son, of course, the head basketball coach at Rogers State University. We'll have him on as well, Justin Barkley. So join us next week for another father-son basketball duo. When we come back, we'll head to the ice. Rob Murray, coach of the Ice Holes of Tulsa. You're here next.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank, we never forget it's your money.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine in, curbside, or carry out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
What happens when Rumble of the Oklahoma City Thunder takes on the two fellas and a big vehicle team on the court? They should leave it to a professional. And when it comes to moving the Thunder and all of Rumble's stuff, he should leave it to the professionals.
We got this. Let the pros from two fellas take it from here.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice. With a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Time to talk some Oilers hockey. Bob Murray, the head coach of the Tulsa Oilers, joining us here on the set of Oklahoma Sports Scene. And Coach, you guys just back on the road, but finally got 3 coming up at home this week.
Yeah, we're in Idaho for a couple or 3 games 2 weeks ago, and then back home for 1 against Wichita on Tuesday night, and then we were in Wichita on Saturday, and then home again this weekend against Rapid City for 3.
Yeah, won the Valentine's night game here. It was a big occasion, 5-4. Then went to Wichita and put a 5-2 beating on them there. And this Tag Bertuzzi had a big game, as did Max Golan in the game before.
Well, I made a trade for Tag Bertuzzi about a month ago.
Yeah.
And we had a player that wanted to go elsewhere, and I facilitated that. Mm-hmm. And I got Tag back in the deal, and he's got 10 goals in 11 games for us. Whew. And that's not including I think he's got about 5 or 6 assists also. So he has really come in and done well. And him and Max Golad have played very well together, along with the right winger Dante Sheriff, and they've really been lighting it up lately.
17-22 and fighting for a playoff spot right now, in fact, Coach, in the ECHL Mountain Division. With 25 games left, you're just 7 points out of that 4th and final playoff spot, so good positioning right now.
Yeah, the thing is, Chris, we just haven't made that run this year yet.
Right,
and I think we win 1, lose 1, or win 2, lose 2. Like it's just we just kind of bouncing. No real grip. You know what I mean? We got to get some traction to get a bunch of wins in a row here. And get ourselves back in. We are in the race, yet we've got a lot of work to do in front of us. But we 25 games left. I mean, that's 50 points on the table.
Right.
I mean, it's doable. It's just that we've left it ourselves a little bit behind the 8 ball right now. But quite honestly, I think we're playing our best hockey right now.
And hey, the home fans are sure enjoying it. You had a really good home record. They've won 13 in the home ice, and boy, you've been really hot lately. 15 goals in the last 3 games here in Tulsa.
Well, it's the couple of games that we played against Idaho, by
the best team in the league,
far
right?
and away the best team
right.
in the league. I mean, I think they're I think their record's like 50-8 right now, or something like that. But we took 2 out of 3 at home against them, and we played really, really well, and we've been scoring. You're right. Like we had 5 on Tuesday night against Wichita, 5 in Wichita on Saturday night. So, we're starting to click as far as getting the goals, and our goaltending has started to make the saves that we need.
You mentioned Bertuzzi, Gola. Those are some of the guys that you've added to the roster here, and any other players that really kind of pick things up that we should be watching at the end of the season here?
Well, I think a guy like Jared Hildeman is playing very, very well for us on the backside. Mike McKee's been solid all year long. Little guy Tyler Polson just brings everything he's got every night. Eddie Matsushima is leading our team in scoring, and he's actually hasn't scored that much lately, but the effort he gives every night it's outstanding. And some of the depth players that are contributing right now in getting us the wins right now has to continue as we move forward.
How good is this ECHL? What's the quality of play here?
Honestly, Chris, I think it's people don't respect it as much as maybe they should. Wow. Okay, and this is my 12th year in the league. And I've seen in my 12 years how much better it's got, and the quality of play, the quality of the individual player, it's night and day to what it used to be. And I think that players in general, and maybe even higher management, be it the NHL level or the American League level, they don't respect this league as much as maybe they should. And I think, talking to the GM of the San Diego team, which is our affiliate, he had spent his days here in the ECHL through his career. And, he often tells these guys, have you seen an ECHL game? And a lot of them will say, no, I've never even seen one. Well, maybe you should take some time to go watch it on the computer or whatever. And I'm guilty of it myself. My first year in Alaska, my first game coaching was the very first ECHL game I'd ever seen. So I was guilty of it myself at the time, but it is good hockey, and there's it's showing more and more. There's guys that spend time at this level, that progress through the ranks and eventually make it to the NHL.
It's got to help you too to have such a solid front office. Taylor Hall, general manager, and Andy Skirdo. Well, what an injection he has made in this community for sports and the Oilers especially.
Yeah, no, it again, I'm going to use the terminology night and day. I mean, it really has been since Andy's come in, and all the things that he's doing, and believe me, he's still got a bunch of ideas that he probably hasn't shared with many people, but really doing a great job to. You just see the OAC. It's just, there's energy there that wasn't there before he took over and started implementing things. The new building being built is coming along, and that's going to be a fantastic venue once it gets done.
Really refers to the Oilers Ice Center has been very popular now too.
Yeah, and even the people that I see there on a daily basis that have nothing to do with my team.
Right. Yeah.
Their comments to me on how much it's improved, how much better it's run, different things that they're so excited about, and going forward, as I said, it's only going to get better.
And the impact of these. You have some Wild fans. Impact of some of these Oilers fans on your team and the play.
Well, I mean, we have the diehards. I mean, every team does, but there's that grouping that are loud and rambunctious at games, and you got to have those type of people.
So get out and support the Oilers this weekend. Again, the schedule coming up with Rapid City. They'll be there on the 24th and the 25th. Drop the puck at 7:05 at the BOK Center, and a Sunday matinee at 4:05. And Coach, for taking the time. Billy Sims BBQ, come and join us at BBQ Athletic. We'll see you at the BOK Center. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
We'll come back to wrap things up with my 2 cents worth, all about the Lady Sooners.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank. We never forget it's your money.
You did it, Tulsa. You name the team. We name the team. You name the team. The Tulsa Oilers indoor football team kicks off in March, Saturday nights, 7 p.m. BOK Center. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com to get your season tickets now. Don't miss your chance to experience the fast pace, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. TulsaOilersFootball.com. TulsaOilersFootball.com.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Remington Park Racing returns with the 2023 Spring Quarter Horse season, running from March 9 to June 3rd. $1 million races, multiple Saturday programs featuring the best horses in big money action, and racing champions all competing throughout the season. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. First race at 6 p.m. nightly, Sunday afternoon racing 4 p.m. The top quarter horse paint and Appaloosa racing season continues through June 3rd at Remington Park.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
Back here at Oklahoma Sports Scene to wrap up this week's show, and I'll do it with my commentary. It's the Equity Bank presenting my Lincoln's 2 cents worth. The University of Oklahoma athletics scene has shifted to its softer side. Let's hear it for the girls. The Sooner football team, of course, suffered their first losing season in the quarter of a century. The men's basketball team is having a terrible season. They're going to be in last place in the Big 12. Looks like they'll be one of the only team to miss the NCAA tournament from the conference. And the Sooner wrestling team just took its 17th consecutive loss to its rival Oklahoma State in a Bedlam wrestling match. But how about those Lady Sooners? The OU softball team, defending national champions, currently 8-1, ranked number 1 in the nation, coming off back-to-back national championships after going 59-3 last season. Coach Betty Gasso, in her 29th season, her teams have won 24 conference titles, made it to the College World Series 15 times, won the national championship 6 times. And by the way, that's just one less than the historic OU football team for national titles. The reward for all that success? Love Field, the new $27 million softball stadium being built right now in Norman, be underway and ready to go for the 2024 season. Then it's the Oklahoma women's gymnastics team, also ranked number 1. Off to an 11-0 start. Coach KJ Killer's ladies, the defending national champions, have won 5 national titles and 13 Big 12 championships. So how about second-year OU women's basketball coach? Coach Moranzik's team with a 22-4 record starting the week, tied for the Big 12 lead with Texas at 12-3. OU women's program rebuilt. Recently retired Hall of Fame coach Sherry Cole has been 33 postseason national tournaments and 5 Final Fours. Come on, Sooner men. Let's pick up the pace. That's my Equity Bank 2 cents worth. By the way, next week, be sure to join us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. We have a very special guest. As we have Kevin Wilson, the University of Tulsa's new head football coach, who will be on with us for 2 segments of the show. Then another father-son basketball duo, the Buckleys. I know that's legendary coach Clyde and his son Roger State basketball head coach Justin Barkley. And we'll resume our Remington Park race report from Oklahoma City. The quarter horse and mixed meat season getting underway, opening on March the 9th. Till next week, here on Oklahoma Sports Scene, remember to be a good sport.